Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. If you're a focused learner trying to really grasp how the world around us shapes the world inside us, you are in the exact right place. So, in our last unit, we zoomed way out, looking at massive global trends and how technology connects us outwardly to the rest of the globe. But today, we're making a huge pivot. We're shifting from that macro level of society right down to the micro level of our own minds, and we're looking at something you see every single day but probably never think twice about: the hidden power of color.
All right, here is our game plan for today. We're going to cover from trends to colors, dive into the vocabulary of feelings, explore universal meanings, look at colors across cultures, and wrap up with the psychology of color. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, From Trends to Colors, a Shift in Focus.
So in our previous unit on trends, we were completely focused on outward connection, right? We looked at how millions of people use the internet to socialize and share information. But now we're flipping the script entirely inward. We're looking at how our everyday environment, specifically the colors painted on our walls or displayed on our screens, silently pulls the strings on our inner emotions. Which leads us directly to the big question driving this entire explainer. How do colors affect the way we feel? I want you to keep that question right at the front of your mind as we explore these subtle environmental cues, because every single color you're looking at right now is actually doing something to your brain. We're going to figure out what that is.
Moving on to Section 2, the vocabulary of feelings. These are our tools for understanding. Before we dive into the main text, we're going to practice a crucial reading skill: getting meaning from context. Basically, using the surrounding clues to figure out a new word. Take the word unaware. If an author writes, "We are often unaware of how colors affect our emotions," the context tells us it's a blind spot. It literally means not knowing or noticing something. It's like walking into a bright yellow room and suddenly feeling energized, completely unaware that the paint on the walls is what actually shifted your mood. Next up, we have universal. If you read that a feeling is universal, shared by everyone from Tokyo to New York, you can guess from those clues that it means connected with or true for everyone in the world. It's a shared human experience. We'll see this in action shortly when we look at colors that evoke the exact same feelings in all humans, regardless of what language they speak. And our third key tool is represent. When a text says a white dove represents peace, context shows us it means to be a picture, example, or sign of something. This concept is absolutely huge because, as we'll learn, the exact same color can represent entirely different concepts depending on where you are on the map. All right, Section 3, Universal Meanings in Nature. Let's talk about warmth and peace. Let's apply those tools right now. Look at how this color wheel is split into two distinct emotional halves. The reading explains that colors in the red spectrum, your yellows, oranges, and reds, are warm colors. They universally give us a feeling of warmth, comfort, or sometimes even anger. But then you look at the other side, the cool spectrum, blues, greens, and purples, and those universally bring out a feeling of calmness or even sadness. But why is that universal? Well, it's because we all share the exact same natural world. Every human being looks up and sees the same blue sky. We all look at the ocean and see blue water. So blue universally makes us think of peace. Same goes for trees and plants being green everywhere on Earth. So green universally represents life. We are literally biologically wired to feel this way.
And this connection is so incredibly strong that ancient cultures actually believed color was a form of medicine. People in ancient China, Egypt, and India used colors to try and heal the sick. They'd use the color blue to try to decrease the patient's pain, which is just fascinating. Now, obviously, modern research shows colors can't cure a physical illness, but they absolutely do change the way a person feels. So those ancient cultures were definitely onto something real when it comes to human emotion.
On to section 4, color meanings across cultures. Let's look at a shift in perspective.
Because nature isn't the only rule book out there. Human culture completely changes what colors represent. Just look at this stark contrast. In the US and North America, white represents goodness. It's the classic wedding dress color. But if you travel to India, China, or Japan, white can actually represent death. Green makes Americans think of money because of dollar bills, but in China it can represent a loss of respect. And while yellow might just mean warmth in the West, in Asia it's historically the color of royalty. You can see this cultural difference perfectly right here. Just notice the vibrant reds, yellows, and blues worn by the bride and groom at a traditional Korean wedding. It is a massive shift from the stark white dress you'd see in a Western wedding. It perfectly illustrates that we actually learn to associate feelings with colors based entirely on the society we grow up in.
It gets even crazier when you realize that even within a single culture, one color can have totally contradictory meanings. Think about the color red in North America. Out on the street, a red light screams danger and stop. But on Valentine's Day, that exact same color represents romance and love. Our brains are amazingly good at using context to decide which feeling a color is supposed to trigger.
Which brings us to our final stop, section 5, the psychology of color and how it actually changes our behavior.
We have one last vocabulary word to unlock this: psychological. Using our context clues, we can figure out it means connected with the mind or the way it works. Color psychology is the specific study of how colors affect our emotions, our decisions, and even our physical actions. And let me tell you, the research findings are absolutely wild.
Listen to these facts. One study showed that people could literally lift heavier weights more easily when they were standing in a blue room. Another study found that soccer referees unconsciously made more penalty calls against teams that were wearing black uniforms. And if you're a student, get this, people who saw the color red right before taking a test actually performed much worse than those who didn't. Color is actively influencing human performance and judgment every single day.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? As the text points out, colors can increase our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By becoming aware of these psychological triggers, we aren't just learning about paint or fashion. We are fundamentally learning about human nature. We're getting a sneak peek into how our subconscious minds actually operate. So, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. Take a second and just look around the room you're in right now. Really notice the colors of the walls, the furniture, the decorations. Ask yourself, how are they making you feel today? Are they calming you down or maybe making you a bit anxious? And now that you know the hidden power of color, would you change them? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and remember to keep your eyes open to the colors around you.